The process that we want to teach you on how to solve a matrix or solve a system of linear equations, three unknowns, is through something called a Gaussian elimination process. What that means is that, first of all, let's begin with a matrix. And our first step, after we write it in our standard form, is to put a 1 or use our manipulations of row operations to create a matrix, so we have a 1 in that first spot. That's our first step as we go through, is take our system, write it in our augmented matrix form, and then from there our first step is look at that very first spot and use our row operations to put a 1 in that spot. Our next step after that will be then to work on getting zeros in the spots underneath of it. And these little asterisks just mean other numbers that we just haven't dealt with yet. So then that becomes step 2. First step 1, after we wrote it in correct form, is get a 1 in that first spot. Then using row operations, let's get zeros in the spots underneath of this, and this moves us into a row echelon form that we're trying to get. The next process after that is we have a 1 and a 0 and a 0. Then we want to look at the next spot on the diagonal and get a 1 right there. So that's our next attempt. After that, our goal will be then to find a 1, get a 0 underneath of that. Step after that, part of our strategy, now we look at this last diagonal spot, and by using our row operations, get a 1 in that last diagonal position. So that will be our process, our strategy of understanding what does Gaussian elimination look like. It's a process of starting to build our diagonal through row operations and then having our zeros fill up the gaps behind it. And then once we're in this form, then we're in a process where we can view the solutions.